Hey, look who's home at the MCU. It's our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can, spins a web and he sighs, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man. Is he strong? Listen, bud, he's got radioactive blood. Can he swing from a thread? Take a look overhead. Hey there goes the Spider-Man. In the chill of a night, at the scene of a crime, like a streak of light, he arrives just in time. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man. Look out, MCU, here comes the Spider-Man!
Spider-Man Homecoming, directed by John Watts, starring Tom Holland, Michael Keaton, Marisa Tomei, Robert Downey Jr., Tony Revolve, Donald Glover, Laura Harrier, Jacob Batalon, Zendaya, John Favreau, and Vulcan Woodbine. This movie is the first MCU film with Spider-Man in it, and it's perfect calling it Spider-Man Homecoming because you got Spider-Man coming back to home to the MCU. The plot of this movie, we have Tom Holland, a new Spider-Man, playing Peter Parker, and the Spider-Man is in high school, a sophomore in high school, I believe. So he's 15. He wants to prove himself to Robert Downey Jr.'s character, Tony Stark, Iron Man, that he can be an Avenger. This movie is set just a little bit after Civil War, and there's a villain that is causing havoc in New York by the name of the Vulture, played by Michael Keaton, Adrian Toomes. He has his own set of henchmen with him, along with a secondary Spider-Man villain as well. And Spider-Man's trying to stop this villain, and he hopes by stopping the Vulture he can prove himself that he can be just as good as the Avengers, while at the same time he's trying to balance his school life. And that's pretty much our movie, really. Now, when I saw Tom Holland playing Spider-Man in Civil War, I thought he was awesome. He was really good. So when I heard that they were going to do a Spider-Man movie with this guy, awesome. That is great. And yeah, this movie is really good. This is a great Spider-Man movie. It's not a bad movie like Amazing Spider-Man 2 or Raimi's Spider-Man 3. It doesn't feel cluttered like those two movies. It is actually a good movie, which is amazing, truly amazing. It's spectacular. Pun intended there. Tom Holland is excellent as Spider-Man. He does a really good job playing the role, and he does a great job as Peter Parker. I love the tone of this movie. The idea that this movie is like a John Hughes film, like 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club, or Ferris Bueller's Day Off, movies like that. It has that tone, which is awesome, and that's just the right tone for a Spider-Man movie. The villain in this movie, being played by Michael Keaton, is excellent. Michael Keaton does a great job playing the Vulture, and it's so perfect picking the 1989 Batman to go up against Spider-Man, because when Batman comics were really getting popular, the only comic books that were just as popular from Marvel were the Spider-Man comics. And when the Batman movies were doing really good, the only movies that were doing just as well at the box office from Marvel were the Spider-Man movies. So there was always that rivalry between Spider-Man and Batman as far as DC and Marvel. And so it's just perfect picking the 1989 Batman to go up against the current Spider-Man. As well, you're picking a guy who also played a man named Birdman in an independent film recently, so that's perfect to pick him to play the Vulture. And Michael Keaton does this villain so darn well. I really like the way he played this villain and his motivations for becoming a villain, since he feels like, since he's somebody that he feels is the rich and powerful don't care about the little people, so he's just trying to get rich using the alien tech left over from the Chitauri to make himself more powerful in order to make himself rich and to make his buddies rich. And it just makes sense, really, when you really see why he's doing what he's doing. The supporting cast is great in this movie. Marisa Tomei is really good as Aunt May. I really did like her in the film. She felt like a cross between a maternal figure and a big sister figure, so I really did like that. And then you have Tony Revolve playing Flash Thompson, a different kind of Flash Thompson. He is very much in the same social circles as Peter Parker, and most of the bullying coming from him is really insults, more so than physical bullying, really, which is done very well, I thought. Then you have Jacob Batalon playing Peter Parker's best friend Ned, and I thought he was very good in the movie, although there were some negatives with his character, which I'll talk about later on in the review. You have Laura Harrier playing the love interest, Liz Allen. I thought she was very good in the movie as well. And then you have Zendaya playing Michelle, and I thought she was pretty good in the movie. And I did like the fact that they made her to be like an Ali Sheedy-like character. Ali Sheedy played an outcast in The Breakfast Club, and they made Zendaya's character to be very much like Ali Sheedy's character. They even gave her the same hairstyle that Ali Sheedy had in The Breakfast Club. So that was very interesting, and I thought she played the role pretty well. Then you have Vulcan Woodbine playing a secondary villain. I thought he was very good in the movie as well, although I wasn't fully satisfied with his character. And finally, Jon Favreau shows up in the movie playing his Iron Man character, Happy, which is great. I thought he was very good in the film as well. And just the whole movie was good. The high school scenes were done very well. The Spider-Man scenes were done great. Everything about this movie was really, really good. So what were the negatives of this film? First of all, one of the main abilities that Spider-Man is supposed to have is not in this movie, which I was a bit disappointed about that. I felt that the one ability that Spider-Man has that should be in this movie, as a key to who Spider-Man is not in this movie, was lacking from the film, and they should have put it in the film, really, which we'll talk about later on in a spoiler review. Then there is the whole reveal behind Zendaya's character felt forced. It didn't really feel organic, really. Then there's the fact that there wasn't that much chemistry between Peter Parker and Liz Allen, really. The infatuation between the two of them was just pretty much Peter Parker having a crush on the most popular girl in school, really, and the most prettiest girl in school, really. That's basically the whole basis behind their infatuation, really. And finally, we have Ned. The main negative behind him is, since he is made up to be a comic relief character in a movie that's already funny without him, much of the comedy from him was bearing on the line between funny and annoying, really. Some of the jokes from him were funny, others were annoying. He was bearing on that line, and I could see why a lot of people would just find him flatly annoying, like Kat Dennings' character from Thor, Darcy. But I didn't really find him that annoying, really. I thought he was a pretty good character, but he was bordering on that line for me. And as for Donald Glover, I thought he was pretty good in the movie as well. This was a really excellent Spider-Man movie. I definitely think people should check this movie out. So I'm going to give this movie a B+. It is definitely worth it to see, and that's all I gotta say for this film.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can, spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man, here comes the Spider-Man. Look out, MCU, here comes the Spider-Man.